Hey guys, Mike here. So obviously an absolute disaster over the weekend for the crypto market, today for the regular market. I mean the crypto market over the weekend, good Lord. I mean this thing absolutely tanked, and it reminded me of this video I saw on this animal right here running down this mountain, and this is in real time. Look how fast. This is crypto investors getting out of the market over the weekend, and then it was stock market investors this morning saying I'm out of here. And the real reason is because you have this right here going on. People are starting to go, oh my God, are they going to do 75 basis point hikes now versus just the 50, which was, was being priced in over the last couple of weeks. And so this is the one coming up this month. But we have one in July, one in September, because they're not going to have a meeting in August. And so this is one of the two things that's got all markets absolutely spooked out of their minds. And the reason why is because what's happening? You got inflation just going through the roof, but if this actual chart is correct, you have core inflation, which doesn't include food and energy, cooling off and at least starting to come down. And so we're going to get into, obviously coming up, what's the big question, right, that I think is on a lot of people's minds and has investors spooked more than anything, especially hedge funds probably more than us. But, looking at the inflation part, as far as 70 basis point hikes, like somebody explain to me what I'm missing here. You got a Fed, and this is the two reasons I don't think they're going to do, especially 75 basis points Wednesday. I'll be stunned, okay? Maybe July or September, but here are my two reasons. One, you have a Fed who is led by a guy who is a politician, straight up, and he has done backflips and bent himself into a pretzel, multiple times, trying to not surprise the market. He's even said that. We're not trying to surprise people, right? So, like I said in yesterday's video, I think he's going to roll out there Wednesday, and the big question is going to be, are 75 basis points back on the table, right? And probably I'd be surprised if he doesn't say yes. I really would be surprised if he doesn't say, well, sure, we're going to put anything back on the table now because of what's happening. But again, you're talking about, remember, I'll say it a million times because it's true. It's held true for centuries. Past behavior predicts future behavior. The way they act just really doesn't change that much. It can happen for some people, but whether you're talking about personal or business, if somebody's a scumbag January 1st, they're probably going to be a scumbag June 1st. Okay, that's the way it is. A very good person on January 1st, probably going to be a good person on June 1st, right? And if you got a guy, especially like Jerome Powell and his cronies, who have had no moxie, no backbone this whole time, going from last year to here. It's all about politics and getting promoted and keeping your job, basically. And being a politician, then most likely they're not going to man up and do what maybe needs to be done, or what some people think needs to be done. I'm not even saying 75 basis points at this point in time needs to be done, because they don't control food and energy, right? That's our government, who is a whole nother group of people who are totally inept at their jobs, and I have zero faith in them to actually help us in those areas, okay? And so however they could do it. And, so that's the things I'm looking at. I don't understand why people are flipping out about this and going, oh my God. Or it was like the market finally woke up and said, wow, we're in a tightening cycle. Like, they aren't kidding. They're going to keep tightening. Even if they just do 50 basis points, all the way through or whatever. It's like, yeah, hello. It's like people keep waiting for them to flip a switch and say, no, we're good. We're just kidding. We're going to go ahead and flatten out rates back down to zero and stop rolling off the balance sheet and all this stuff. And why would that happen? I mean, inflation is running away, and they can't even get the interest rate high as they need to actually get it to try to bring inflation down already. And so, and being behind the curve as they are. So that's my input on that. Let me know in the comments what you think about that part. But the big thing I think people are, really wondering, maybe even hedge funds at this point in time, are we going a lot lower, right? And what I'm going to show you is some charts here, and I didn't even put the dates on there, so that way you wouldn't know which ones they were when this happened, of the last time the markets got in these extended downtrends. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, guys, if you get something out of this. And when I say market, I mean the S&P it represents the overall market. Again, no dates in this, that way I won't even reference the dates. But you can see what's happening here. What people are trying to figure out is, here we come down, we get to 22%, which is where we're at right now as I'm recording this. And you can see what happens. We hit 22%, and then what do you see happen right after this? Capitulation, right? Where you get this massive drop. Everybody gets liquidated, margin called like hell if they're still in it. 31% drop in 15 days, okay? And then we'll roll up to the next downtrend that lasts quite a while. When we hit 22% on this one, you can see all of a sudden, boom, what happens? Get an 18% drop again in 15 days, like the same thing as before, right? So very, very quick before bouncing back up. And of course, this is the one we're in now. So what do you got? You got 2 gap down, so we got gaps that need to be filled. We're almost at the bottom of the channel, and you see we bounced off of it already 4 different times. So the question now is, and we got the support level, which goes quite a ways back. And so we're right there above the support level, right above where the bottom of this channel is, which we bounced off 4 times. And so are we going to bounce and start filling those gaps, or, which you can see we're already down around 22% right now, or are we going to break through this channel and expand the channel out and start breaking through and go down double digits like the other channels happen, right? That's really what people are trying to see here, because these are fast drops. And some people say this is capitulation. When you drop down this much in this short amount of time and you get a bunch of panic selling, bunch of margin calls, which I don't understand why people are using margin right now, but that seems to be what's happening. And the other thing to look at too is some people like to look at the 40-week EMA on the monthly chart. And, you know, we're almost there. We're only like 2% away from this, and the NASDAQ's already busted through it. But as you can see, you know, excluding the flash crash, it bounced off at 3 different times on sell-offs. But if this is a real downward trending channel, it's going to sell off a lot more. That EMA means absolutely nothing. And then you look at the NASDAQ. Got 2 gaps to fill right now. It's got a little further to go before it gets to the bottom of the channel, which has bounced off multiple times, as you can see. But again, MACD is rolling over. Everything's looking pretty bearish right now, as you can see, on any of the indexes. And I was going to go over small caps because they're getting just destroyed right now. But you know, I'm not even going to cover that right now. And so this, to me, is the question people are trying to figure out, right? They're like, oh, my God, because that would be huge, right? That's some big drops if we keep going. I'm still in the camp, though, and I've asked this multiple times, and you guys tend to somewhat agree, is the fact that I don't think the S&P can drop like that, because the other 2 times it happened, what was rolling over? I showed you another video. Commodities were rolling over. So you had all the energy stocks in the S&P roll over and crash with it because they go down fast, right? But we don't have that right now, okay? And so people are projecting through the summer for them to continue going up because we have a supply issue. It's not really demand, supply issue is what we have. And so there's just not an excess amount of supply of corn or wheat or anything else out there, oil or whatever. And since, you know, the oil companies here already said they're not going to produce anymore, not going to happen. They're going to stay where they're at. And, you know, as long as Russia's doing their stuff, it is what it is. And Europe's, you know, saying we're not going to take you oil anyway. And so that's a whole nother issue. But, you know, that's why right now, I mean, how can we possibly go down like that? Because if the energy stocks aren't, you know, doing their thing, right? I mean, they could roll over. That could happen. I don't know why we do it right now, but it could happen, right? Because why? A lot. And I mean, the majority of people say energy is going higher, which means the stocks will go higher, when sometimes the market does the exact opposite, right? And people start booking profits because they don't want to lose all those profits. They're way up in a lot of these stocks right now. And so that could happen. But, you know, again, let me know what you think in the comments. That's kind of what I'm seeing right here. And let me know what you think the Fed, what do you think they're going to do Wednesday? I'm going 50 basis points. And then maybe in his interview, he says, or press conference, he says, yes, 75 basis points is back on the table. And to me, that's what the market's trying to price in. And if he doesn't say it, and we're at the bottom of these channels, you could absolutely see a bounce right there. You know how this news, and especially if he doesn't say that, and I know he's going to get asked, right? You know he's going to get asked that question. How could he not, right? And so, but if he does say yes, 75 basis points back on the table, then you can see, obviously, these channels get expanded down even further. That could happen. So anyway, that's what I got for you. Hope that works. Let me know in the comments what you think, and I'll see you guys later.